place I really wanted to explore because of the very obvious evidence of human interaction with the river. So there were no regulations on workers' rights when they were mining here. In fact, there's records of human activity in the mines going back to Roman periods and probably pre-Roman periods. There's nothing to say that these mines won't be worked again. There's absolutely nothing. There's still minerals down there. The reason these mines closed was because during the First World War, the UK government found it cheaper to import lead and zinc and cadmium from Australia. Lovely, yummy, yummy McDonald's. What could be nicer than coming outside and eating a burger and then leaving your shit? Having said that, this is just basically one massive rubbish dump where sort of people just sort of went, whoops, run away, don't know what to do about that. It's the same old story, really. Same thing that's happened down at the power station. They've decided to offshore. End of October now, and it's cold in the shade. But awkwardly, really warm, really warm when you're not in the shade. So I've got like a whole mixture of clothing on that made me really sweat as I was cycling up here. And then I sat down to eat my sandwich and I got cold, and now I've come out into the sun again and I'm warm enough. It's going to be one of those days. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It wasn't me. I didn't have a McDonald's, I had a sandwich. Well, I feel like I'm tired. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm tired. Here I am, right down here, right by here. There's my camera. Oh, can you see me in it? There's me. Oh, you can see my hand. Some people call themselves artists. They just stay indoors. Other people don't. God. Well, I get lots of fresh air, I suppose. So the mines just closed because the market wasn't there for them. It just dissolved. I was just walking around the area, looking about, seeing what possible paths there might be to lead me around, perhaps up to the mine adits, rather than walking through the mines themselves. And as I was walking down this driveway, I saw a bag of recycling. I thought, oh, there's always a bin bag down here. There must be people living up there. And by the looks of it, they look like fairly standard people. I'm pretty glad I didn't go any further though, because this guy comes down, gives me the evil eye as I'm packing up my bag, and he dumps literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 recycling bags. Pretty much all of them rammed with cans of Strongbow. Heavy night. Just outside the standing pools again. There's the path. There's the path of how I got down to where I am now. You can see my stuff there. And then I walked along here. That's what you can hear. It's the main thing you can hear. And down here, somewhere, yes, you can see why I've done it all. Up there, where I was photographing from before. Now I'm down here, trying to get a little bit closer. Every time I went up there, I had a horrendous headache. I was definitely breathing in something nasty. Don't know where he was. Didn't see a thing. Heard it. I just slipped down this, really. Which generally I've been sliding down on my bum, but I just lost it and really twisted my knee. I just had to lie there and just sort of let it throb with pain till it went. You can see that little smoke there. There's the train. I'm on this side of the fence. Yeah, there is a very good reason for that sign there, and a very good reason why I shouldn't be on this side of the fence. And that is because, hopefully, you can see this. That tiny hole is what people used to have to go and work in. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Right. Really not nice place to have to go to do your job. Especially, you know, when you're a teenager. However, that's what some people had to do, and this is what's left over, which is fascinating, isn't it? What a bloody mess. What a bloody mess. But maybe he doesn't see Tylwyth Teg, but his friend sees Tylwyth Teg. But that doesn't mean that Tylwyth Teg isn't there. And what I was trying to get at was that maybe Tylwyth Teg isn't a literal evil fairy. I really hurt my knee yesterday. It's still twinging today. Obviously I'm crawling around all this muck. Not doing it any favours probably. It's like the pollution, isn't it? It's the greed that sent people down there. This is Fionn. She's an alpaca. She's not very well, hence her jacket. These are her alpaca friends. I know that they're alpacas now because I've just been chatting to the lady who keeps them and her husband. She is Jill, he is Mike. Mike, you won't be able to see it on this thing, I don't think. There's a tree house. He has built a tree house. This amazing wizard house. It's down there. Neither the workers nor the land had to be protected in any way. So you have this changing attitude to both the landscape and to people. I'm wrecked. Just spent about an hour and a half down at that red stream. Been showered in potentially highly toxic water, trying to get a decent shot. And I need to send my lens for a repair at some point. I don't think it's focusing sharp. I don't think my throat is entirely happy either. I think I got some nice shots. I definitely got a dead dragonfly. Well, I guess it was probably a little bit interesting to see this again. So I was here 3 weeks ago, sort of pointing my camera at this and going, so 3 weeks, that's, I don't know, that's how much it's gone. It hasn't gone, has it? It hasn't gone, and some of that's just really not going to go. Anyway, just to prove that I'm in the same spot, here I am. And just at the top there, that's where I'm going to go. A great day, look at it, so sunny, a bit chilly with the breeze, but the breeze is sort of behind me. And I was just, collecting voices today, oh, there you are, you're looking at me now, aren't you? Hello? Hello? Alright? There was no regard for what they were doing to the river, and there was no regard for what they were really doing to the people that went down there. They didn't have to put ventilation in for these people because there wasn't a gas risk. Okay, so I've been waiting for winter to get in here because obviously now we can see it. Before this was all green. Now the green is gone and you can see the standing pools. Okay, so I've got a microphone set up over actually at the adit there, trying to capture the drips, the drops of it all. Taking some photos. What I'm trying to do is capture how you get the orange staining up the side, and it starts off as parts of the rock, and it becomes water. It then becomes very much water. This is pretty cool. I am in an old mining building. I don't know what this would have been for. This is actually what this whole pipe is. This is their attempt. This feeds the standing pools lower down. So this is all part of the filtration system. My friend Ellen drove me up, and she is just turning out to be the absolute best person I could have spoken to. She's the daughter of Erwid, who is my shepherd, my personal shepherd, and historian. Like a fireplace, little doorway into I don't know what. It's just a beautiful spot, really, isn't it? Up here, you know. And what's really good for me, not just for the project, but just as a person, really, is just to see, you know, what they did. You know, what we do. You know, we want stuff. You know, I mean, what were they going for here? Lead, zinc. Where I was yesterday, from the videos, you will see that there's water leaking out of a mine and going into a pipe. That pipe comes out over here. Well, this car's just been here all year as well. I think it's been dumped. So it's a good place, mining is a good place to look at how things were, not just for the working man, but also for the environment. Just by here, that pipe comes out just here. And goes there. Now that water then goes underneath the road here and comes out in these streams, and then ends up in those filtration beds that I was showing you. They, I've been told by the good people at Statkraft, the Norwegian state. They weren't Norwegian, they were just local people that worked for them. They said, yeah, it doesn't work. They blocked up. The original idea was to use limestone to filter the water through various stages, but it got blocked up with the bad chemicals, lead, whatever, the metals, blocked it up straight away. The water just runs over the top of this. That's all that's happening. It runs out of the mine, but it leaves a lot of orange along the way, but it's just creating a bed for that rather than anything more purifying. And she's put me in contact with loads of people that live up here, and I think I'm just very grateful and lucky to have friends like that, I think, who help you out. Lead, we have it on roofs, don't we? Or like we used to have it in theatres, the fire curtain. You imagine that is a little bit like what the river was like when they were actually mining. So I photographed this, I photographed that, I'm recording that, I've recorded this also. There's my camera. See my shiny new tripod? That's just saved 2.5 kilos of stuff on my bike, on the back of my bike. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I'm not the expert. I'm not. Still. That's where I am. And this is how you get it. And this is what's left behind. I've got it on my hands because of course I've got it on my hands because it's mucky. But it is just good just to see it, isn't it? Just to behold, so that you don't just sort of think, you know, here I am with a smartphone. I know that it's got rare earth minerals in it. I fancy that the mines that all that stuff comes out of, probably just as rotten as this, if not worse. Another thing that Batinsky says, how we're made of nature, we come from nature, we're part of it. So if we harm the natural world, we're effectively harm ourselves, and this is particularly obvious with regards to water. In ancient traditions, these things would have been given, the earth was worshipped much more holistically and given much more a part of our lives than it at a certain point in human history we abandoned all of that and began to just walk over the world like it was ours rather than it was part of us. So it's good not just to sort of accept the world that I'm living in, all the electricity, but to see how it gets here. Some people, they get money very easily, so it doesn't really mean anything to them to get rare earth mineral. It's just words. When you see a hole in the ground like that, you see this nice area. I'm going to fall down this bank. You see what efforts it took. It sort of makes it a bit more real to you, I suppose. And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? And if it's a bit more real and you know how it came to be, you might be a little bit more careful about how you use it. You might not. You might be for the 5 minutes afterwards and then just sort of carry on after, carry on as normal. That when they closed the mines, they didn't feel like there was any need for any clean-up operation. Not only that, the workers were just struck off and that was that. Of course, I can't come this high up in the valley without having a little look down in the just there. That's the falls. There's the top. There's the sun's back. I'm on the broken remains of a house. That's quite pretty. It's all very pretty. As you can tell, it's autumn and it's British winter time, which means, having been here for a couple of hours, it's now time to go home. Maybe you can hear the train. Time to go home because it's going to get dark and cold, and I don't want to be cold. I don't want to be in the dark. So no. When every time it rains, all this nastiness is running off into the river, right where people like to go swimming and picnic. It's bizarre, really, that people are able to just shut it out